Lamps full understandings.
Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your old men will have dreams, and your young men will see visions. I will even give my spirit to my servants, both men and women. I will work wonders in the sky above and on the earth below. The sun will turn dark, and the moon will be as red as blood before that great and terrible day when I appear.
Freely ye have received, freely give. Like, subscribe and share.
As the kingdom feels so near, obtaining the kingdom sayings of Jesus seem particularly important. Jesus says in Matthew 5 verse 3 in the King James, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." No one feels alone when we find the words of Jesus difficult to comprehend. In this case, what constitutes poor in spirit? And if obtaining the kingdom is the outcome, how does that inform us as to what poor in spirit means? It's not referring to poor in wealth. However, because it uses the word poor, there's an inference that being wealthy can interfere with being poor in spirit. Mark 10 verse 24. But Jesus answereth again, and saith unto them, Children, how hard is it for them that trust in riches to enter into the kingdom of God? The spirit is a good thing if it is a spirit that aligns with God's spirit. If you are poor in a spirit that mankind values, you're rich in a spirit that God values. Blessed are the poor who are poor in the spirit of what mankind elevates or values. There's an entire realm of Christianity that adopts the spirits of materialism, racism, and oppression of people they deem different or beneath, and tries to repackage this spirit as godliness. Our key verse in a few other versions read like this. In the Christian Standard Bible version we read, Matthew 5 verse 3. God blesses those people who depend only on Him. They belong to the kingdom of heaven. A wealthy man like Job, who properly placed his dependence entirely on God, was rich in God's eyes despite losing all his worldly wealth. He was poor in the kind of spirit his wife had. Curse God and die. In the New Living Translation. Matthew 5 verse 3. God blesses those who are poor and realize their need for Him, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. God tells us the kind of people He is looking for. In the CSB. Isaiah 66 verse 2. My hand made all these things, and so they all came into being. This is the Lord's declaration. I will look favorably on this kind of person, one who is humble, submissive in spirit, and trembles at my word. Quoted from Isaiah 61 verse 1. The Contemporary English Version reads, Luke 4 verse 18. The Lord's Spirit has come to me, because He has chosen me to tell the good news to the poor. The Lord has sent me to announce freedom for prisoners, to give sight to the blind, to free everyone who suffers. By His word, we obtain the light of His righteous character full of grace, mercy, and empathy for the downcast, as they more than any realize their need for God's hand in their lives. Being proud is moving in the opposite direction from being in the spirit of righteousness. Being in the spirit of humility doesn't prefer self-elevating pride. Matthew 6 verse 24. No man can serve two masters. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. James reiterates these attitudes. James 2 verse 5 and 6. Hath not God chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom? But ye have despised the poor. Jesus provided parables and stories of the judgment to express the kinds of people who He is looking for. Matthew 25 verses 35 to 40. For I was an hungered, and thirsty, and a stranger, and naked, and sick, and in prison, and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer, When saw we thee? And the king shall answer, Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. We live in the world, but we must strive to avoid adhering to the attitudes of the world. There isn't any selfish worldly value that is in synchronicity with God's values. Even while we place ourselves under God's highest standard. We are not the judge of those who do not. Even they must make their own mistakes and must learn just as we have made ours, and we are learning and picking ourselves up from our own mistakes. If we adopt all the attitudes that Jesus talked about, we might think that we will have a difficult time navigating this life. In actuality, this act of faith gives God the opportunity to bless us in this life, and you will have what you need. But you won't lose your faith in God's saving grace as one makes life's decisions and adopts attitudes with God's righteousness in mind.
Lamp's full understandings. Please like, subscribe and share.